name's Flower Conroy. The poem is Geolocation. How would you describe something so obvious it doesn't require further explanation? They are bringing the mother to the iced grass mansion she has occasionally dreamt about. Out to pasture isn't what was meant, but as when you bend to fetch a coin from the gutter and glimpse a jet engine's heat haze, the phrase now insinuates itself into. The mother figure is being brought. Now by a hair's breadth the narrative unhinges, glued at the edges. The maternal is velvet unfolding. Awakening being the point of view of the burnt orange lampshade. Not the shade itself, but the umbra spilling from below the drum's frilled mouth. As echo or refraction, as sea glass or extinction of the endless ways to be in this world. Somewhere a way refused to emerge or was refused, and so became a way of unbeing. The dance of Jupiter and Mars, if patterned with string, materializes as a circle within a star within a circle, whereas each initial star trajectory crisscrosses, superimposes, elbows braiding. The iced grass effect was the result of the silvery underside of the sinuate leaf margins, the mansion the consequence of wonder. Because the mirage insists the real object in vague smoke, and the object itself insists on its own unstable image. On their way they looked at, then upon the apex hills. A puddle acting as a mirror. Sometimes what answers from elsewhere. Elsewhere, cobwebby, soft, and tangled hairs. They are bringing the mother. So usually I start with either an image, a word, or an emotion, and then I try to find out what are the ideas around that and where those images or emotions can take me that I might not have thought of before. So this poem is about impending loss and trying to locate oneself on the precipice of that loss. It's about navigating the familiar when it's been made surreal through having difficult emotions or facing different challenges. So I tend to be more of a lyric poet. I gravitate towards associative language and logic. So I let the poems meander and do what they want in the initial composition. And then I spend a lot of time revising and refining and trying to shape and see what the poem is trying to teach me and tell me. So I think to read more poetry foremost, to never be satisfied with yourself. If a word comes easy, I know I have certain words that come over and over again in my poetry, and I try to push through that and see what language can be more interesting and more powerful. Try to find subtext in poetry. So I'd say lose your preconceived notions of what you think the poem might be. Be open to what the poem is saying in the language of the poetry. Just be comfortable being uncomfortable in a poem if you have to be. I would say John Ashbery's As You Came from the Holy Land. That poem always astounds me. I don't always know everything it means, but I don't care because it's so powerful emotionally to me. Just the way the navigation through the poem, how he makes different moves, the balance of the concrete and the abstract. I think it's a very powerful poem, and that was one of the poems that I studied for a long time to try to just learn some of the nuance of how to make moves like that. I'd have to give a shout out to my collaborator, Donna Sprout Metz, who we are working on a Emily Dickinson-based poetry collaboration on. To Tulsin Books, who will be publishing my second collection called A Sentimental Hairpin.